Welcome to creating a search statement. The search statement is what you put in a database or search engine's search bar to perform a search. A well thought out search statement will make searching for materials more efficient and less stressful. This tutorial will demonstrate identifying the key concepts in your research question, brainstorming alternative terms, and then joining those terms together with Boolean operators to create a search statement that you can use to find materials. To begin, look at your research question and identify the main keywords or concepts. For example, in the following question, how does smoking affect women? The two main concepts are smoking and women. These two concepts become the main keywords in the search. Once the main keywords have been identified, brainstorm some related terms. This is important since databases do not understand concepts and only match words in your search statement with words in the materials that the database contains. For example, if I just type in a keyword search for smoking and women, I might miss articles that discuss tobacco and females, which would be helpful in answering my research question. These alternative terms do not need to be synonyms, just related to the main concepts in a way that might be helpful to finding materials that help answer your research question. Next, we need to combine our main keywords and alternative terms in a logical way so that the database can understand what to search for. To do this, we use the words and or. We place and in between the main concepts and or in between the related terms. When used this way, the words and or are called Boolean operators. And tells the database that we only want items with both of those concepts, and or tells the database that the concept can be represented by either of those terms. Let's view the concept of Boolean operators using a Venn diagram. Imagine that the blue circle represents all of the items in a database that contain the word smoking, and that the red circle contains all of the items in the same database with the word women in them. A search for just smoking will return all of the items in the blue circle. A search for just women will return all of the items in the red circle. A search for smoking or women will return all of the items in both circles. A search for smoking and women will return only the items represented by the purple area that have both of those terms. So using the search statement smoking or tobacco and women or female will expand the search by allowing for different words to represent each concept while still only returning the items in purple that contain both concepts. Lastly, and a bit more advanced, is to also identify terms that might benefit from truncation. Truncation cuts a search term off at its root and places an asterisk at the end. This tells the database to find any item that has any word that begins with that root. For example, truncation can be used to tell the database to look for any word that begins with the root smok. So smoke, smoking, smoked, etc. Another example is the word bank with an asterisk. This would return bank, banking, banker, bankruptcy, and so on. Once a search statement is developed from a research question, it can be plugged into the different library resources or even open web sources to search for materials. If you have trouble creating a search statement or finding materials, just ask a librarian. And that's creating a search statement.